All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel once again. We are back at it live. I really should do this in a structured way, I'm sure, but this is going to be a bit messy because we don't have necessarily a nicey place to put you guys because we're not filming with a phone or a camera of some sort. So we're just going to be moving you all over the place, and this is going to be very long because just the top over here of all of this stuff is a lot. Like it's filled to the brim all the way to the back of stuff, right? So we're going to go through what 10,000, maybe 10,000 plus mechanic tools and what that looks like. And so this is basically a career's worth, if you will. And I definitely could use more tools, of course, of tools. So first, I'm probably going to go through more so the mobile aspect of stuff and what I got in there. And then we could use that to film this better, if you will. So let's get started. All right. So the first thing that we got to grab is this light. This light is a Blue Point light because we need some more light in here. So that's $100 right there. That shit almost fucking fell. But if it did, then it's such a good light that it wouldn't break. All right, so right here we have our two pack out systems. The magical stick, in case you got hit nigga with that shit. But anyways, so and this one is more of the electrical diagnostic type of stuff. I guess I gotta take these out one by one. That sucks. All right, so we got this thermal gun, right? We have a fuse buddy, which is this is basically you get to put one of these in place of a fuse, and then if it goes on and off, you know that okay, the whole system works and the fuse is bad, right? Then we have battery tester, little basic thing. I'm not going to put links to any of this in the description below because that's going to be a lot of work. Let's just say this was about 200, almost $300 probably. This was like 30 bucks ish, relatively same, 30 bucks maybe ish, probably 50 on that one. Then this is our, man, I forgot what this is called. It's tefoscope, tefoscope, some shit like that. The doctor shit, basically, but it's for the car. So I'm a car doctor, right? So this goes right here. If it'll stay in place, boom. You put this in your ear, and one test you could do real quick is you attach this to your ear, right? You put it in there. You put this against per se the injector. I don't have one to really show you unless I go outside, but it's cold as fuck, so I'm not doing that. But so you put this on the injector. If you hear it go tick 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 tick, boom. Okay, cool. It's working. It's doing what it should be doing. And then we have the Wonder Waff is what I call it because of that. But this is just it tests the coil. So you have this. It goes inside the hole. This was like 120 bucks. But it goes inside the hole. You put this on top, and then it's able to tell you if it's sensing it. So, like, you see how that red part, right? It would the red part would go fast or however slow or not do it at all, depending on how it's picking up that ignition coil, right? And then a classic old test light. Test lights, you could get them for like 10 bucks or something like that. Same thing with a stethoscope. It's relatively cheap to get that as well. It's like this is, a big dollar item, if you will, for sure. All right, and I should have my multimeter in here, but it's not here because it's in the office. And this is the amp pound. And so with this, we're able to check if we have if something has amps that it shouldn't have. So if the car is completely off, this shouldn't pick up shit. So if it picks up something, then that's going to draw on the battery, which is going to eventually kill the battery hella fast, right? So there's that. Then we get into our electrical side of things, where it's like anything electrical. So this is one of my favorite wire strippers. So like I'll show you. I guess I'll show you right now. This was the first pair of wire strippers that I ever bought. These were Snap-on wire strippers. And so honestly, the test of time, they lasted really well. These alone, this should cost $40 right here for this one plier. Right? I forgot again how much this one cost, but it was definitely cheaper than this. But so classic wire strippers, you put them in the hole, you pull that, and you go out, right? Well, this and what I like about this is all in one. So like sometimes I just grab this because I could crimp them, as you can see right here. And so I could crimp the wire and I could strip the wire and I could cut the wire all with this one. So when I'm looking for just one tool to do it all, it's that. But this one is so cool because you grab it, boom, and it pulls it out, right? So you put the wire in right here, depending on the gauge, right? And then you grab it, pull it. Actually, if you want, because we have wire over here as part of our stuff, we could just demonstrate that. So, like I said, I'm gonna grab this because that's the go-to, right? Clip it, boom. With this one, we could put it here, take it off, stripped in an instant. And then if we have something to crimp it with, we just put it in there and we just crimp that thing, right? And so like that's how it would pretty much look. But of course, there will be more stuff on it, and you would twist the wire and whatnot. But now this one, right? You just slide it in the hole, and you grab it. Oh, I didn't put in the right one. I didn't put in the right one again. All right, this one should do it. And so I didn't put in the right one because I'm just looking to show you guys. But in an instant, you do that wire. And so it's like if you're doing a lot of wiring stuff, this is the one. You just bing, 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 and go through it and you're done, right? And so we'll put this right here over in the waste bucket, which it's not really the waste bucket, but that's what it became now. All right. So that I keep on the top of this one over here, and we'll go through that later. All right. So then we have this is for batteries and wiring stuff again. So you just put it in, and it cuts it really flush. So it's like boom. Now you got a nicely flush wire right there, and then all the little miscellaneous like now we're getting into heat shrink fuses. We got the connectors in here. This is the real crimper that you would actually use. Then we have right here pinchers. And then this is like when I'm testing a lot of electrical stuff. So that's why like I don't have the multimeter in here right now because I was using it, but that's where it goes. But yeah, so that's the bottom draw, if you will. This is all electrical. So it's like if I'm going out to like do some mechanic work, if you will, this is like the all-in-one solution that I would need right here to get that work done. Remember, I have this in here. It's a specific electrical for sure. Boom. All right, so that is draw literally 1. Now we're moving on to draw number 2. And so this one's more simple. This I have just duct tape, electrical tape, and then we have the power probe, which I will not be taking this out to unravel that, but that's what it looks like. You have a pointer here, and you could power it by a positive and negative on the battery, and then boom, you're able to have power or a ground to whatever you're working on. And then right besides that, we have our endoscope. So this is like stuff when you're having a really bad day, basically is kind of when you're going through this one. I mean, this whole bottom draw basically is like a fuck type of situation, pretty much. So endoscope is basically a camera. It's just a camera that has like it's a small baby camera, so it could fit anywhere. As you can see, it's like so small that you can barely see it in my hand when I point it at you, right? So there's that. All right. And so that's the bottom draw. And the way it's usually, I mean, Yeah, that's the bottom pack out. And the way it's usually set up is it would be attached um, on top of this one, right? So this is my bottom always, and then everything else will be stacked on top. We'll get through this stuff later. Um, let's just, and that's why we got it, so we could just throw that out of the way. All right, and so now we get into the more interesting, unique setups of how we're putting this together. So after we take a sip. Yeah, that's some good H2O. All right, so real quick, light, another light. This is a Mag Xeon light. I actually got it from my buddy Mike. He gave it to me because like I gave him some tools, and he was like, "Hey, you take this light. I don't use this." And he also gave me another light. This is a badass light. Like this is really one of them blinding lights because yeah, it's very useful. Magnetized, of course, as per usual, so we could put it wherever we please. And now we get into the fun stuff. This is like moving around right now. This is a pry bar, but I have multiple. This is moving around between that and everywhere else. So put that there. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit you like this because there's actually a lot going on in this draw, as you can see. There's a little few things going on over here. So, man, this is the light is just not useful right now. All right. So, have a gear wrench ratchet. It's a flex head type of thing. Excuse me. I like ratchets that have the on and off just because it's like very simple. It's like you can't fuck it up. If it's off, you flick it that way, right? You flick it this way if it's off. If it's on, you flick it this way. It's very simple, right? So I like ratchets like that because brains go dumb when it comes to mechanic stuff. Then we have this Macro rail goes up to 19. It goes from 7 to 19. Don't use the lower stuff. Same thing with this. I'm missing the 12 on this. It's a deep sockets, right? So these in itself is probably like 300 to I don't know $400 probably something like that. One of many Milwaukee tools, electric ratchet. Really like the go-to. Honestly, this thing right here is the goat. Like if you not even Milwaukee, just an electric ratchet in general, right? This stuff is like super helpful because like there's definitely you just crack it, right? And then you just take it out. That's it. I always like cracking it with this just because I like to know how it feels. Like how hard is it? Is it snug or is it tight? Like which one is it? And that's exactly how I put it back, right? And then so once I break it and know how much force it takes for me to do that, then I go ahead and bang it out with the ratchet, right? And so it's like if it's really tight, like anything with brake not calipers but brackets, it's like you could easily just like go all the way with this and you still have to definitely put more force on it afterwards. But anyways, there's that. We have this Craftsman pick set. I'm really not too sure about pricing really again on this kind of stuff because it's like it wasn't I hate to make it sound like this, but it wasn't significant enough to be like, oh shit, like this was the price of this. Now, like again, when I tell you this is about $100 ratchet ish, um, the Matco stuff, name brand stuff, it's like I besides Craftsman, I mean Craftsman's name brand, but it's like there's stuff that okay, yeah, this was expensive, so I definitely know that, but when it's relative, then I don't pay attention to that. So I have many of these snap-on extensions. These were like $200 for a set of like 5 or something like that. I don't have all of them in here, but these are wobbles. So what wobbles mean is that I got some spark plug sockets. But so what wobbles mean is usually when you put it on, it's like that, right? It doesn't move. But when you make it wobble, oh shoot, when you make it wobble, It just has enough to really have you get away with not needing, because I really haven't needed any of those wobble sockets or adapters and stuff. So that's hella useful. Like I said, spark plug sockets in here. I got oil filter wrench as well. Then, because this is more so of like the on the go type of kit, I have very specific tools in here. And so we have, this is a set of ratcheting ended wrenches. Like this is just like, I could throw the ratchet stuff out kind of sort of based on this stuff. Of course, it's not that crazy, but this was 200 bucks right here, just in this. I don't like, I wish I could like throw the prices up here as I say them, or it's like an automated system that does that, because I'm sure that would be helpful for me to see and for my wife to see the prices. But it helps that it's not that way at the same time. But it goes all the way to 19. So this is a big bitch, right? Here. Then we have just this is Craftsman. I want to say, or is this a newer one? Yeah, this is a newer one. Just a regular pair of vice grips, needle nose vice grips. I got it cheap from Harbor Freight. We got magnet as well, another cheapo from Harbor Freight. A tire tread depth gauge, and that's basically it. We do have, this is for plastic trim and stuff inside the car, so I grabbed the best one out of the kit that is in the big toolbox. And so also, in case you guys didn't know, my name is Emmanuel Velasco, and I have a multitude of experiences in multiple different realms. And I'm on a mission to help 7,200 people learn everything I know from mindset, business, and beyond, so that they can each help another 7,200 people do the same thing. And the ripple effect of that is 51 million lives impacted. So if you enjoyed this video so far, make sure you give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let's get back into it. So that's literally draw number one out of the three, but this is the main one. This is the main draw in terms of portability. And this is like when we get into wrenches. And so we have the combination wrench, because that's very helpful. um just in cases is these big boys, right? We have some, and these didn't fit necessarily up to here. So this is gear wrench. No, this is Jagger. I was looking at gear wrench and Jagger at the same time when I was grabbing these. Um, this goes up to 27 or 25, something like that. 25. So just to make sure I got a decent amount of options, right? And then right here we got some specific brake. Oh, man, I forgot what these are called, but this is for doing brake fluid flushes. So I forgot the specific name of these, but this is what they're specifically for. So they go on the caliper, and because they're like angled this weird angle, it allows you to get on there and do it pretty easily compared to doing it with a headphone. Users beware, because we have a bunch of wrenches and shit. So like, I'm sure it's go below. Yeah, so those wrenches are better than using just a regular 10 or 8 when it comes to brake fluid flushes. Those are the dedicated ones specifically for that. Then we got to lay down that pipe sometimes, because I don't know if I kept it, but if I kept it, I'll show you the other pipe wrench. The other pipe wrench has been through some days, and that was one was through some rough days. We got some pliers right here, right? Needle nose pliers, longer needle nose pliers, right? Um, regular vice grips, and you know your boy be diking, so he's gotta have the real dikes. And so that's it for this one. This one is like the quickie draw, if you will, because there's not much going on, because it's literally just wrenches. And it's always fun to finagle the stuff back when you take it up. That's like the best part about it. All right. Oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot the wrench. This was Harbor Freight. I feel like this wrench set was around $100. This was probably a $20-ish channel locks. But I love these because it's locking in place, right? So you could literally one hand this shit, right? And then boom, it's like I got the size I need. And if I need to go shorter or what have you, it's like I could set it up and it's locked in place. So that's why it's $20 for that one. But yeah, so that's probably like a this one's probably like a $700 draw. This one is like a $150 draw or something like that. And then like the pack out itself is like 200 give or take dollars. The whole deal that I actually got on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the dolly actually cost $100. 6 was for $300. So I'm looking for deals when I grab stuff like this. All right, so bottom draw is actually where I put my multimeter, where it doesn't belong. And so maybe we should move that over to the spot that it does belong. So this is actually a Craftsman multimeter. Got this way back in the day. This was like really the beginning of my career. Really is when I got that. Because I got maybe like $300 worth of tools, like as my first set, and it was all Craftsman, and we'll go through that because those have still been lasting for all this time. So quality definitely over quantity for sure, but you can get away with quantity because I do have like a couple of different sets that are cheapy sets. Not they're more so like I use these sets for housework. And so, like, I got the house tools and I got the mechanic tools, if you will. And this specifically is a bunch of fucking mechanic tools out the ass. So here we got the Blue Point, and this, man, I don't know how much it costs, but definitely cost some bread. So sometimes you get into some really tight locations where you need some really cute ass fucking tools. So this is one of those cute ass tools that we have. And so it's not something that is popped out often, but when you do need something, this is definitely the one. This little thing is over $100. I guarantee that for sure, definitely. Um, we got classic Pittsburgh special, aka Harbor Freight. It's just when you, I do it the classic way, usually with two hammers and stuff like that. When it's coming, when taking off that nut from the rotor or that screw from the rotor. So when that happens, it's like this tool has always been so much easier. I don't know why I never got it. So I was like, man, this shit's like $15. It's gonna save me a lot of headache because definitely doing it that way, you have to put some muscle into it, for sure. Um, then we have flip socket set because we need to keep our shit compact. We have a 7/8, 15 16ths, 21, 22 millimeter, 3/4, 13 16ths, 19 millimeter, 17 millimeter, all in this one set with the extension as well. And again, to keep it compact so it's able to fit in a mobile setup like it does in this Paco. And then the one socket that I cannot fit in the socket drawer is this 36 millimeter socket when you get into axles, and you got to play with those. So of course axles range from a variety of different ones, but that's for that specifically. And then this is the when you got to file your nails and you don't have necessarily the right nail filer. I don't know what the fuck just dropped, but something dropped. That's why we have these. And so we have some diamond ones. So when I'm feeling special and want to nail file my nails and shit. All right. And the reason why there's a big ass gap, like I'm gonna show you this, and there's like nothing in here, right? Is because there's a tool missing. This is a brake caliper push-in setup. So like there's a multiple different ways of doing this. So you can have, which I do have a different version over here. This is the original version, right? So we have this push-in caliper set, which we'll go deeper into it. But basically, you push, and you can see that it keeps pushing, and pushes the caliper. That works great for when you're dealing with cars that have only one side, of pistons for the caliper specifically. But when you have both sides, which is a different scenario, so you have pistons on both sides that go like this, and they squeeze the pad on the rotor, right? So this one is to crank those up, and you crank it up, and then boom, take it off or push it back in. right? And so you could either do that or do it the classic way with a flathead when you don't have the right tool on hand. You just got to use what you have. So it might be a flathead sometimes in certain circumstances. And so that's that one. And then the tool that's missing in there is this classic impact. This is old as fuck. I mean, like it's definitely up for upgrade, but it's all reliable. Like it's done the job, so I don't fucking change the shit. And it only has the one battery, and this one battery has lasted, I don't know, like almost a decade. So it's like fuck it, I'll keep it just the way it is. But so this is how empty this drawer looks without this in there, and then we put that in. We close it up. And so that was draw number 3. And so probably in here is, and that was a Mac caliper piston set thing, that double-sided shit. So in this draw is probably about, give or take, another $300 or so in this draw. So it's like $300, 150, and 400, maybe 600 in that one draw. And so if we account for all that, that's like over $1,000 just in this one thing. Let alone this one is probably maybe another $1,000 because it's more diagnostic specific stuff. All right. So now we'll go get into the other stuff, which is, this is more so the household tools, if you will. And if I'm carrying this around, it's for me to have an easier time when it comes to working on stuff. So you kind of can't see it that well because we're on the chair. But let's see if we could get you guys down a little bit more. All right. So that's as far down as you go. But so this is like the universal setup. So whatever kind of goes my way, if I carry this into the house, into like any different location, I could kind of figure out a bunch of different scenarios. And so we have the DeWalt set, which honestly, I'm thinking of getting rid of this set because it's like I have a bunch of Milwaukee stuff, but I was building up a set where I had, like, don't take from this space and stuff. But so we have gloves, but these are the gloves for the welder that actually sits right in there, right there, that green box thing. And so, but these are really good gloves, so I'm like, fuck it, it's really solid. So I keep these in there, but then we have the double DeWalt special, and so impact wrench and drill, right? So we have long because you don't know if you're going to counter the long shit, so I just keep the longie on there, and then we have the baby Phillips head in there. So that's simply what's in this section. I wonder how it would look if I laid out all the tools. It'll probably take up the whole garage floor for sure. That'll be a great thumbnail picture, but it'll be mad fucking work. Hey, what do you mean, what's your trade? Yeah, always gotta have a longie, you're right. Every single time, for sure. But anyway, so that's the DeWalt set. This is like, again, these are the house like options. You can universally hang a TV, go ahead and maybe work on some a little bit like car stuff universally, because we have this next thing, which this is going to be a little bit more complicated to show you. But so another set, if you will, just throw that to the side. A bunch of variety of different fucking tools of universally everything that you would need for anything and anything. So again, like that's why I keep it as the universal set here. But so you guys can see the full effect of all that. Got some wrenches, another ratchet, the level. We got channel locks, so plenty of pliers, I guess. Some socket stuff, Allen wrenches, and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like, boom. Yeah, that's a lot of shit. And guess what? I have, this is one set, right? And then I still have a set for the house specifically. And so that stuff from the house, it actually came from, I had to fly out when I didn't officially live here yet. And so I flew out over here. And when I flew out over here, I didn't have tools, but I had to fix this car. I had to change the catalytic converter. And so you could actually see that video on my YouTube channel. It's like, Son to the Rescue or some shit like that. But anyways, I came here. I had to fly out because apparently mechanics couldn't do the job with the fucking toolbox that they have, like something like this, right? Or even bigger, some Snap-on shit, right? Because it seems like Craftsman and Milwaukee to the death of me, I guess is what I'm about. And so, um, came down here, fixed it with that tool set. It was like $150 or less Harbor Freight tool set to change out catalytic converter. I would show you that, but that's in the house and it's not here. But so let's get back into it. So that's with those two items universally with the DeWalt and this briefcase, basically. It's like I universally have a bunch of capabilities there. And then we go ahead and get into this thing. I always have the bits so you could have all the tips, right? And so you can see it's a bit rusty because back in my mobile days, like it is what it is. It had to get worked out. But everything and anything that I would need to unscrew some shit right here. And so this kit definitely travels. This is another. The Snap-on man only got me a few times. I'm gonna be honest with you. He got me a few times. One of those times was again with that $40. That was the first time he got me. Was with that $40 wire pliers, and so wire strippers. And then Snap-on man got me again with this set. Of course, it was a deal though. It was like $40 or something, 40, $50, something like that. But of course, the capabilities extraordinary that you get out of this because it universally adapts to everything you have, right? But so Snap-on man got me with that, and he got me with that Blue Point light because I mean that light is fucking fire. And I dropped that light probably over 1,000 times. So the review on the durability of the blue one that is up right there, solid as fuck. All right, then we have this metal bar just in case we got to attach some bolts or some shit to this. So it's like kind of my bowl, if you will, of holding bolts is right here, which is again Harbor Freight special. And then we got some ratchet straps, just basic husky shit. And so that's officially, besides rags, the top of this thing. And so we easily pop this thing off. Boom. And now we get into the top of this. And so on the top of this, actually, I can push you guys up this time. So on the top of this, it's just universally some extra shit, basically, for the most part. But so we have the Innova 5610. Again, you can see a review of that on my channel. I appreciate Lenovo for sponsoring that video. They didn't sponsor this video, but this thing is really solid, to be honest. And so when I need to do something quick, instead of grabbing the big boy, quote unquote, one that I have, I grab this because this one is like I could do everything I need to do real quick for a quick check to not go in depth, really. And I have an app on my phone, and it's easier to like send that information to whoever I'm working on, whoever's car, right? And then we have classic old Nico, right? A baby one that fits in here. And that's kind of it in terms of like real equipment in here, besides the stud checker. Again, so it's like this is the super universal kit. But it's like that's it for like the electrical, if you will, components of this wheeling setup. Now we gotta figure out how to fucking put this in here to make it nicey. All right. We also have iron right here because I'm gonna show you. I have a Milwaukee one. So I lost the adapter because that shit kept loosening, but of course that's not something you would want to Loctite anyways because it gets hot and shit like that. But so that one has failed me more than it has worked for me, right? And it's supposed to be the greatest thing for me to slide in underneath a car wherever I want, cordless, wireless, right? But man, like that shit sucks. I haven't been able to properly use that shit. And so when I tried to find the tip for it, mind you, that tip that I bought was $22. And it was literally just a tip. I don't even know if I have it still. But it didn't fit. So I was like, all right, fuck this. I'm gonna just get this shit from Walmart. Less than $10. I think it was $8 to get all that. We also have, of course, some solder wire, right? If we get into trouble. I really should just take this out. It became an unboxing video, I guess. I'll throw that to the side. Put that there. We have a marker in here as well for marking some shit. The stand for the solder, and we have a little cutter right here, scraper, and a little shank because we always need a shank on you at any moment, anytime, right? Glasses that every time when we put on safety glasses, even though yes, it does protect your eyes, and I do recommend wearing some safety goggles. For some reason, it just happens to slide all the way the fuck around the glasses and into my fucking eye anyway. So it's like glasses great or no. We have also gloves, just so we're universally ready again for anything. This is when we get into like my testing wire to test anything. So this is a 2 amp in there. I was doing some testing with it. But it's like I could connect this to like the negative or the positive and then tap where I need to tap, connect that. Same thing universally with this. It's just a long, thick gauge wire that has 2 ends. Oh, 2 ends. So it's like I could do some testing with that if I need to, without, taking out the crazy kit. And then we have some stripper wire right here. A whole boatload of some stripper wire. But it's just stainless steel wire, so you never know when you need it. Because there was actually one time that I was driving. I went up this driveway, and then when I came out, the bumper fell off, or at least part of the bumper fell off. And I couldn't find, for the life of me, that, unfortunately. If I see an old Weller solder gun, I'm buying it. The new ones can't compare it. For real though, like I'm gonna take it out. Like the new one really can't compare it. It's like this shit is so good, but it's like look at this thing. It's like this shit looks so cool. I ain't gonna lie to you. It looks so cool. It gets hot. It tells you everything. It flips up and does all that miracle work. But it was $200. And so it's like, was it worth that when I can't even fucking find the tip that replaces it anyways? It's garbage, basically. I don't use this shit. So that's it for this whole setup right here. At least this baby version of it. So then I'll go ahead and remove this one. Boom. And now we make it to the granddaddy set, if you will. And this, it has something in it that I don't even think you could even imagine what would be in this big ass shit. So also, remember that this, the dolly itself, and the pack out, it was separate. Okay, so like this is like maybe 150. That's 100. This skinny one is like 80. This one is like 77. And like I said, the other two is like around 200-ish bucks. So this is really $1,000 setup right here. Again, they get for that, all of them, $300. Look for deals because Facebook is a hell of a place. But so here, just got dollies. That's it. The Harbor Freight special of these dollies. I used to work as a mover, and so dollies are just like the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I was able to move that fridge that is behind right here very easily, relatively low effort, and that shit fucking weighs a bunch. And so that's why I keep the dollies here, because universally you get shit done. with some dollies. And this is my favorite part because it never really goes back perfectly. You gotta finagle this shit, and eventually she will go into place where you can close it. Boom. And so now, the fun part, we gotta put everything the fuck back how we got it. Which, luckily, with this mobile setup, very simple, right? And so I don't have to put this back together, but let's show you how it goes. Boom. Done. Done. Oh shit, I missed. I feel like doing all this finagling, so flip it around, boom, 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 boom. And now that bitch done. Wow. Really, Janelle? That's hilarious. All right. So that's that. I'll go over this real quick since it's right here in the way. Harbor Freight special with this thing. Most of the I'm fucking up. Most of the stuff that I got from Harbor Freight, it was during a decent time. I look for the clearance deals. This vacuum was $100. We'll go over here real quick because we got a few different items over here. So we got the hydraulic press. Also, dollies move this like 2 seconds, no problem. We have the engine hoist as well too. Then we have the Daytona low profile. With these things are like chucks. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. And then we have a whole bunch of damn, that shit fucking sucks. Gotta do better with lighting, guys. I'm sorry. Then we have a bunch of the classic jack stands. This one is like really disappointment because like this is a 1.5 ton aluminum press and jack, and I had to trade that thing out 3 times. The original one I had was so much better, but I lost the wheel. So I was like, can I replace this wheel? And they're like, no, you could just get a new one. And I was like, fuck it, fine, give me a new one. And for the life of me, after that, I could not get a new one that actually functioned the way the fuck it should. And so it's like it always has some issues when it came to its hydraulic pressure, if you will. All right, so we have a couple of options to get into now. So I promise you this, I'm not getting into this aspect of things, which is down here. I'll just tell you about it. This is why I got the press. So at the bottom over here, these 2 red cases or whatever. So those 2 are what's that shit called? Front suspension kits. And so these front suspension kits, I had to do a wheel bearing. And so I got that kit so I could do the wheel bearing. And honestly, that kit fucking sucks. And it sucks so bad that I opted out to not have that anymore. Damn, it sucks. Hold on. Yeah, that's better. It's a little better in terms of lighting. So we have some options. So we have this toolbox right here, right, that we could get into. We have my original toolbox. And then we have, like I said, all the kits are in the back right here. And so it's fucking a lot of kits. Goddamn. All right. We'll go into what you guys are. What should I get into? Should I get into the shelf? Should I get into the main toolbox, or should I get into the original OG 1 toolbox kits? All right. So the kits are a bit crazy. All right. When it comes to the kits, this was amassed over time, right? And so I'm going to try to find where the lighting is the best for you guys. I guess universally, that's this spot. So when it comes to the kits, this was like a lot of it got masked when I was rebuilding a Datsun 240Z, and when I was rebuilding this Datsun 240Z, there was many kits that I needed, not because I didn't have the tool, but because it was too thick, and so I needed the lower profile of stuff. So let's just get into it. We got the double flaring tool. So this is when we're making brake lines, and had to use this a couple of times. Made some custom brake lines. I actually, if you guys were paying attention to the shelf, I have a couple of brake lines, or a little bit of a brake line set right here. So universally brake line molded together, whatever. And so like this thing, I don't know prices. I suck with prices, by the way. Luckily, and so that's got me out of trouble a lot. But so I don't know how much that was, but it was relatively cheap Amazon price, whatever that is. And also the reason why I had to buy the two red sets that were at the bottom twice is because the fucking stupid bolt, the most brolic bolt you'll ever see in your life, that shit stripped. And so I had to redo this fucking wheel bearing because it just wouldn't sit right. I guess in that thing, aka like I didn't install it right. And so the first time it was fine. It was just for my own sanity. I wanted to do it again. And so the second time, it's like it didn't go in properly. So then I had to do it a third time. But that fucking kit, it just sucks overall to do that because you got the impact gun doesn't do it. You got to do it by hand. So that's why that kit sucks and why we got hydraulic press, as I showed you before. I'm just gonna leave it type messy, honestly. All right, so here is where we get into this is our, what's that should call disconnect, quick disconnect kit right here. Oh shit! Oh no! Oh shit! All over the place. So this is our universal quick disconnect kit. So whenever we need to quickly disconnect some shit, we already have what we need for universally everything. So we're not finagling with the wrong tool to do the job. We want to finagle with the right tool to do the job because Lord knows that the right tool to do the job, shit, it makes the job so much more pleasurable when you have the right shit. But when you have the wrong shit, that shit just sucks. And sometimes you could even have the right shit and it still sucks regardless. All right, here we have the OG Harbor Freight engine compressor, compression tester. And this is years old. But it's like old reliable. So it's real simple, right? There's some there's some like pieces of equipment that I could have to really complete out everything universally that I need to do. But at the same time, we don't need it right now at this moment. So this is the big boy that I had to buy right here. So I kind of really fuck with this suspension. It's a spring compressor. And so this shit is really solid, just the way it's constructed. And it has these things that allow it to be actually as safely as possible, right? It's not really the funnest thing to do, but as safely as possible, do the job, right? And so you'll find a set in Harbor Freight. Those universally work a lot of the times. But unfortunately for that job, like I said, when I was working on that Datsun, it didn't fit. So I had to get something that's low profile, which these were, really low profile. If you see that, the hooks right here, that's the low profile-ness that we needed in order to slide into that thing. But it's fun getting into some suspension shit. So I'll just say it like that. It's fun. You don't know what the fuck you go get. Really, universally, you don't know what the fuck you go get. It could be an oil change and that shit turn into a motherfucker. All right. Then one of the OG kits from back in the heyday when I first started, at least, over here. In this area and really start this kit is like really nostalgic for me because I really learned brakes really well. So this is a brake caliper kit. So in case you didn't know, the other one that I showed you, or the one by hand that was like kind of like a gun that you squeeze, or a cock gun, if you will, when you squeeze. Um, this is for when you have the e-brake integrated into the caliper. I really hate those, to be honest with you. But when it happens, and you gotta have the right tool for that job, right? All right, now we're getting into the depths. Yep, my favorite, the ball joint kit. And so these are very light. And so the ball joint kit, you just put the cup in there. And this is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about a beefy thing, like the other kit, like stripped this. So imagine how much pressure you had to put like in a bolt like this in order to strip that shit out. But that's that. Again, right tool for the job. Universally, you gonna need something like this when it comes to ball joints, unless it's simple and it has nuts. I love when it has nuts because that makes life easy. All right, next we get into this little sucker. Is actually something that I didn't know I needed until I needed it. And so right here, it's very cute, right? So what this is to test to see if you have a blown head gasket. And simply, all you do is open up the radiator, you slap this shit in there, and then it has a ball where you go like this, boop, 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 boop. You pump up the fluid, and you need specific fluid, which is back here. This specific fluid, right? And so if this changes color, then it's no good. And universally, it's probably no good because I need to get a new one. So it's like if it changes to this color, basically, it's no good if it changes colors. Because that was blue, I want to say, and now that thing is green. So it seems like we need more fluid now. All right, we have. I was going to do a project with these rollers. They actually hold 200 pounds. I want to say a piece. Yeah, they hold 200 pounds a piece. So like, I have enough to hold 1,200 pounds of something. Haven't found that something of what's holding that. We have nuts and bolts right here in this kit. We have wire that we use to show you how the wire strippers work and why, like, whatever. But again, those Snap-on ones are pretty rusty, honestly, and they still work just like they did brand new. So quality. Never had to necessarily buy a new one. I just want to. All right. It just sucks because there's so much shit. I gotta put this shit back. These, I had a cap set, but I don't know where the fuck I put the cap set. And so like it was an official case like that and shit. But so I needed a cap for Toyota. And so I grabbed this set because it had all of them. So I didn't have to go specifically to Toyota or to go online and get the specific Toyota one that is universally just for that bitch. And so I got this, and guess what? This fucking garbage. So I don't know why I have this. Because when I needed it and I used that shit, it just did nothing. So I had to finagle it anyways and use all weird fucking tools just to get the job done. Oh no, is it? Yeah, it's fucking green. Yeah. It should be blue. All right, so next up is like my side kits, if you will. I'm gonna just go with the side because I might be able to save myself. This one is gonna be super hard to show you. This is a $500 fucking thing in itself right here. And so the reason why that is because this is Blue Point, which is a sub company of Snap-on, but it also has every single Torx and all that different shit that you would need with it. So it's missing a couple, but shit, I'll take missing like I'm missing E6, and that's it, just one. So missing one, but have the rest of them, I ain't mad at it. And this is one spectacular kit, to be honest. So when I bust this out, it's like, luckily I have this, so I don't have to worry about those weird fucking awkward days, except if I have to deal with a Volkswagen, because this does not cover Volkswagen. So that sucks. All right. And then we go ahead. We got our fuel pressure tester kit. Let's see how we're doing on power. Oh, we got plenty of power. I told you guys this was going to be a long video when I get into this type of shit. So we got universally everything we need to hit some fuel testing. Smell of gasoline. I love it. All right. Now, that is literally what happens every single fucking time. And I forgot because it's been a while that I've done that shit. And that was just a spool of wire. That's all that was. All right, this right here is our radiator pressure tester kit. And so it does mostly everything. Of course, there's parts that the master kit does not do. And so you need a kit for a kit. And same thing with this stupid shit over here. So there's some manufacturers, when it comes to these retractable calipers, right? Or these spinning calipers, there's some manufacturers that everything in this kit doesn't work. Then I was like, hey, bud, can I borrow your kit and see if that will work? That shit didn't work. And then guess what we had to do? Or what I had to do? I had to spend fucking 30 minutes, I want to say per side, with this fucker and the whole fucking twisting that shit until we got it back to where the fuck it had to be. Because why? Because ingenuity. So, yay with that. All right, so now we get into the back side of things. This is when we get into our tire, inner tire rod stuff. And so this is a Harbor Freight special because, again, like I was like, I don't need nothing special. And basically, to show you guys, for those of you who don't know, it's just a pipe. It like this is sometimes some people's pipe wrenches. And so what you do is there's adapters that you put in here, and then you slide it through, boop, 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 and you put your ratchet right here, and you take it off. Very simple. Or you could do it without the kit, and it can be done. I'll tell you what, it can be done. It's just more of a pain in the ass. Right tool for the job. Let's hit this. If you guys watch anime, this is the tool that Smoker-san uses for his smoke no or whatever the fuck it's called. So, yeah, the shit is attached. Golly. This is my smoker. And so this shit is so fire, honestly. This is one of those things, like if you had to check a vacuum leak without it, you're like doing a lot of guesswork, pulling this out and doing all this, figuring out where is it coming from. This shit, in an instant, you figure out, is the system sealed or not? No, it's not. Where the fuck is the smoke coming from? All right, this is the issue. That's why this tool is fucking immaculate. And the best part is this tool is all housed in itself. So you just attach it to the battery, and that's your power, and you're good to go. So usually sometimes you gotta put air to it or what have you. With this shit, you're just like good to go in an instant. And so this one was like, I want to say again, give or take $200. I should have been saying prices with everything, but I'm saying prices with some things. So take it with a grain of salt. Of course, the box is dying, so there's that. I should keep this in the toolbox, but that's all right. And then we get into the final kit at the very least in this section specifically. And so we have the slide hammer set. If you can see it from here. I wish I didn't have to open this. But we're here. So we'll open it. Oh shit, I forgot that. Alright, well, we gotta put that in that box. Or we could throw it out. Alright, so this one is heavy as fuck. Don't get me wrong. But this universally has kind of sort of everything you need. It has the slide hammer. And you could turn it into a puller using these things. There was moments where I needed a puller and I didn't have it, so I had to go to AutoZone and shit. But one day I needed this to do a job, so boom, now we have it. And that's the best part. And so that's that tool. Heavy ass shit. And now I gotta figure out exactly how I put this shit back in the exact order, because I know the exact order was the only way I was able to put that shit together. These, of course, these up top were old tool bags. This one and this one right here are old tool bags. I have no idea if I have tools still in them. I would hope not, but if I do, it's because I don't need it over here. Let's put this back. This is the part where, oh shit, that was probably loud. My bad. This is the part where people probably, speed this shit up. So boom, like, imagine it. This is in fast motion right now. But let's see. Do that. Don't remember what was on top. I think it was this right here. Slide this one go. Alright, put that back there. You put you back. Let's go. What's that here? Switch this up because I'll use that for this. This is the fun part, isn't it? Putting the shit back. Huh. Don't you love it when it gets put back neater than what it was before? So it's fantastic. All right, so now we'll just get into the shelf of things. So I'm not putting this back because you see it's green. That means that it has exhaust in there. So the green is the back color. So let's get into this main shelf right here. So right here is universally all the fluids that I would need to upkeep shit. This is gum out. I'm going to use this on the car that I'm working on. Cleanse the system. This is like transmission central. So we have ATF4 and then ATF5 right there. Because I used to have a Honda that I had to change out the transmission fluid like every fucking month just to keep that bitch alive. So that's what we were doing because we didn't want to fix that thing. And so then this is the transmission no, this is actually a gas cap. So that's a gas cap. This is a transmission filter. We have, because I was always ahead on my maintenance shit, we have, what kind of filter is this? Oh, this is for the 40. So this is a oil filter. Orange things right here, Fram, couple oil filters here. These are specifically for Honda. Then it's like everything fluid, so wash your windshield and shit. We got some bulbs. These are all the brake stuff type things. This is again for making brake lines. Throw that there. Couple of headlight kits. We got engine brake. Oh, this is brake cleaner. I have engine cleaner somewhere, I think, but I guess not right here. Brake cleaner, WD for contact cleaner specifically. Then we have the silicone base one as well, or silicone-less. I forgot. We got some coolant back here. We have some brake fluid right here. We got a little baby one as well. We got power steering fluid, and then that's basically it when it comes to the fluid side of things. Carb cleaner, of course. We have oil right here. I don't have too much oil left in this thing. Really, I've been changing stuff around and created my oil section to be more so above the dead space up here because that's simpler. And one thing I didn't show you guys in this corner is that there's actually ramps down here. So we have basically 6 options to, or we could lift up 2 cars completely with what we got over there. And so, yeah, that's it for the fluids. Then we also, I didn't mention this when I was down here, but down here we have one fluid catcher, and then we have another fluid catcher right here as well. And I am very slow when it comes to emptying out my fluids, and that's why I needed 2 of them shits. And really, I need like a lot more of them shits. And so that's that. So we've been through universally almost everything, a little bit of all of it. All right. So now all we have left pretty much, god damn, this light just keeps doing too much. So now all we got left is the toolboxes, the real toolboxes. And so with that, deserves a sip of water. Wow. So we'll take you through the old toolbox before we hit you with the main stuff. And we're going to just make my life a bit easier by throwing some stuff up here so we could slide this down and make my filming life a bit easier. Slide, baby. So I'm go ahead this toolbox now. So on top, so on top we have this vise that I need to install eventually. I guess you guys are way too far away. I got this vise that I need to install eventually. We also have this tape universally, and actually we can make this a little bit better with a lot more effort. So we'll hit you with a lot more effort. And so, going back to it. So we got the vise. We went through that. We got the Milwaukee 12 volt air compressor. This thing is very slow. Definitely when you got to fill up to like 55, those types of pressures, it sucks. It just drains the battery out the ass, but It can do it. It will get all the stuff to basically 55, but it will struggle basically. And now we get into like it's classified as mechanic stuff, but not really at the same time. Um, which is we got the sander, got a bunch of dust in there because we gotta empty that out. Then we have this is more so for the mobile setup. We have our big bar, you know what I mean? And so I never had a breaker bar because I never needed a breaker bar. So this is the first breaker bar, and if it breaks, then I guess it's living up to its name. It's a breaker bar, right? Then we have the welder. It's just the tiny baby welder that they have at Harbor Freight, the 125. Because I was like, yeah, like a baby welder like this, just having that capability is fucking nice. So we got the welder, of course, with the helmet. I think in combination, these two things were like $200. I don't remember how much the breaker bar was, this vice was, or that. But I guess we'll move this stuff over here so that we could just use the top as our platform. This was from a Harbor Freight electric pressure washer that broke after 1 day of use. And so I recommend maybe getting something different. All right. Now, we'll just cross like that. So this was the OG stuff. And I mean, like, there was a lot of work that got done. So this is like the overflow tools, if you will. Like the nice stuff is more so in that toolbox and then in the pack out, right? But this is a filter wrench that didn't survive, when it got tricky. So now it's kind of a little fugly. So there's that. Oh, I was talking about the pipe wrench before. So came a circumstance where the pipe wrench is no longer piping really that well. So it's kind of curved like me. And so old pry bars, these are like more cheapo, bullshitty pry bars. As you can see, the tip is fucking bending backwards on this shit. And so, like, I mean, the baby one is fine because I don't really use the baby one. But so, got some pry bars in here. I still go, like, I have another one of these. I have universally a lot of these scrapers. Got a box cutter. Got vice grips as well. I got this bullshit fucking Milwaukee point that don't fit on this stupid fucking thing. It's like, this is supposedly the adapter for this. This is the screw-on part, right? So this shit don't mesh because there's a piece missing apparently. So there's that. That's wonderful. Still love Milwaukee though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of Milwaukee. That's just one of the crappier things that Milwaukee has. I got some silicone, which I don't know why the silicone is here instead of up there. So thank you guys for that. Oh, we got these baby adapters. I didn't realize we had these shits in here. This is the first ever. This was a Craftsman set. This is the first ever one that I exploded ever in my life. This shit fucking just kaput, and that's why I ended up getting that kit that I showed you guys earlier. But it's just a bunch of miscellaneous things. So we got a lot of secondary thing. This is again to strip some wires and stuff. We got these sets. These sets piss me off right now because like every time that I'm like, okay, I need something basic. I don't need to grab that heavy gray bitch over there. So let me grab one of these, right? I have different sets, right, of these. And that fucking screw always wants to fall out and that shit don't work as it should. And so it's fantastic, basically is what I'm saying. I keep my that's empty. My blades in here. So like this has become like my I don't know, overflow of just blades and secondary tools if I have somebody helping me out and stuff. Spark plugs. I guess I should take that out because shit goes over there. Damn, I got spark plugs all over the place in here. But yeah, I got a multitude of stuff. Another set of dikes, flathead. Um, Unfortunately, this is the aftermath of a car accident. That this is the only thing out of that kit that survived. So that's what we kept. But it was a nice kit, man. That shit was like, I don't know, $200. But that kit, it like everything in there exploded like crazy. Some spark plugs again. So I guess I'll grab those because I know those are brand new, literally. These are not brand new, but all right. But yeah, so that's this top one. It's like more so like canned stuff, so pliers, flatheads, vice grips, everything handy wise, if you will. And the overflow of like funky specialty tools. You know, this became a specialty tool. This is one of those greater bolts, if you will. So I had to kind of get another one to replace it. So this one is not as thick as the other one that stripped itself to shit. Um, we used to have a lot more air tools, but I got rid of my air tools only because like I use a lot of electric. And so like this, the only reason why I kept this is because like if I do have air tools, this is for me to rebuild a caliper. So that's why I kept this one. All right. So that's universally that. It's like I got spares of everything. I even have like this freaking cute ass shank right here. It's like amazing. All right. So next we have this is like spare alley, if you will. So here's another one that's kind of similar to this one. Doesn't do as much as the Nova. It can if you get the updates and stuff, but it's not updated necessarily. But it does a lot of work. Like this shit got me through a bunch of good times too. And so it's like universally with a basic. This was $200. I know, like damn, everything's fucking $200. This was like a little less than $200, but give or take $200. But this is the Launch E123X. And so again, this thing just does the job, right? And so we'll just put this on top. And then we have this tray that no longer has shit because that's how it works. And so this, I'm gonna just show you because it's just a goodie bag of a bunch of different random sockets that I don't necessarily use on a daily basis. So I got a bunch of wrenches in here, a bunch of different. This is like really set up, like them old mechanic dudes when you're like, hey, go get me a 14. Okay. And you open that bitch, he's like, which drawer? 2. Oh, okay. Oh fuck, man. What is it in one of those plastic bags? Nah, it's in the drawer, man. You don't see that shit? It's like, damn, fuck. What is that? 19. Damn, what the fuck? And so yeah, so this is what happened to this drawer. But we got spare ratchets in here. These are Craftsman. A lot of this stuff is Craftsman. And so we got some OG weird shits right here. Another set of goggles. We got headlamps still right here. We got some more fucking spark plugs. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I lied to you. So I guess spare parts don't go in there as well. I also have spare brakes over there, and this bin at the bottom is a bunch of like parts out the ass. I'm definitely not going through that. But this is literally from my Craftsman set from my original Craftsman set. So like there's sockets that I definitely use. This is Blue Point, so it's a little bit of a mixture of Blue Point and Craftsman. 100% almost Craftsman in here. These are Pittsburgh, only on the bigger wrenches. Here, we could prove it to you. This is one of the accident ones, but you never know. This might be one of those times when it's like, fuck, I can't get to that spot because it has to whoop whoop around that motherfucking pulley. I ain't got no shit to whoop whoop around that pulley. Well, now, thanks to some pain, we now can whoop whoop around that shit. All right, so that's that draw. Then we got some more kits for you. And so let's go through those. Let me just put this actually back. Oh. Oh. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so we got this draw is like literally just randomness, if you will. Randomness, but very specific all at the same time. So if I'm having a bad day, this is the draw that is like fuck my life if I pull this third draw. I'll show you why. Just in this first kit. You open it. What do you think you find in here? Well, in here, don't do that. Sticky. We have a thread repair kit. So when either some shit snaps or the threads just fuck themselves up, well, we got something to fix that. And so we don't have everything to fix that. So this set is the, which one was this? The SAE, right? Set. And so the blue one is the metric. And so it's the same thing universally. It's just the set that you're having a really bad day set. That's what this is. Damn. And so looks the same. I'm always scared with doing that one with this one specifically because they're all loose as fuck. But then, because when I was working on a job, those two weren't enough to do shit. And so we had to go ahead and grab this one, right? Because we thought, hey, if I grab this one, I should be straight. Immediately, if you look, there's supposed to be another drill bit right here. Well, that one fucking broke. Oh, wait, do you see this one? That one broke too. So the main drill bits are gone. And so we got some extractor sockets. It's like something you hammer on and then you're able to get it out. And it comes with its own 3/8 bit right there. Very helpful stuff. But it definitely sucks. And so this is the different version of those are the extractors, if you will. But yeah, I guess I keep this as a memory because that's how it's supposed to look like right there. But then the king has fallen, if you will. All right. And so here we have, I really should take these out because I had a kit. Again, in cars, you should always have some tire repair kits because universally they'll stop you from facing the struggles of being on the side of the road. You'll be able to fix a nail in the tire very easily with just this. And then if you have the jump box, like I showed you earlier, very succinct, very small. So I have a bunch of these because the kit had a lot of these. We have our what's this shit called? Nail gun, electric nail gun. Going into some interesting territory. On this one. Yeah, I don't want to have to do that. All right, so then we get into yet another piece that is necessary because I didn't have enough tools to extract stuff. So we got kind of sort of a master extraction kit, and so those are what were necessary to literally handle the job. But even that wasn't the thing that solved my problems. And so this kit was worth a fuck, and then it wasn't worth a fuck all at the same time with that specific job. Ooh. All right. Let's see here. Nada. All right. So just grabbing all these freaking tire patches since they're in here. We got spare sand stuff. We have disc for the cutoff wheel and stuff. Different types of disc. I was planning on upgrading the ground on the titanium welder, but then I grounded myself better just using that. So I was like, I don't need it. Spark plugs if you need them. I got some gaskets in here. This is like metalwork type shit in here. These are staples specifically. Welding brushes, and then this is grease for or not grease. That's yeah. This is grease. This is grease. I don't think I kept the cement one. Yeah. This is for tire patching. What else do we got in here? I have no idea what the fuck this is. Some type of hinge shit. I have no idea. We got some gloves in here, some zip ties. Nothing too crazy, but I will hand it to you. The four of you that are still here watching this live, I really appreciate you. But let me put this hand away. And get into the last and final draw of these four draws. This is also part of the kit. So when you tire patch stuff, now this is like kind of angled. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like it's got an angle to it. This one is pretty straight, so still you can use it universally, but it's kind of disgusting at the same time. All right, let's put this all back. But yeah, this is the draw that if you get into this draw, yeah, you're having a bad day because you have to deal. There's 4 kits, mind you, 4 different kits just to extract some bullshit out of the bolt. I guess I should put that somewhere else too. All right. Now let's put these scary tools away. These are my scariest tools out of the bunch of tools that I have. Fuck, I didn't realize. I used this bottom drawer. If you look at it, it has just a bunch of fucking receipts. So what I'm gonna do is real quick, I'm just go toss these receipts over there, and then we should be able to see these things nicely. So this is like kind of my metal drawer, if you will, right here. And so, but it's like kind of overflow. So I have this. Add electric into the car. Same thing with this. It's more electric to the car. So I have two. One is 100 watt. The other one is 400 watt. But then this is like miscellaneous hoses, and this is more so the combination of what I needed to do to get something that fell into the fucking spark plug hole. And so we use a bunch of multitude of adapters to make sure we got whatever the fuck was in there out. And so again, sad draw if we're kind of hitting this draw in a way. But we got a bunch of pipes, sandpaper. We have like these receipts and shit. A bunch of just adapters for oil. We have some glove stuff. You can see in the background that there's a like drill kit right here as well. I really don't remember what's underneath. I'll tell you what, it's not worth it. I do have some exhaust clips down there, but that's basically the bottom drawer. It's like just filled with a bunch of clips. This is probably universally my favorite one out of the bunch because this helps you finagle it a little bit, and literally that little bit of finagling makes a massive difference, believe it or not. Because it's like this versus this. This, you can't finagle it. This finagles a little bit. So just that little angle that you add to it, right? That gives you the ability to actually make some good exhaust moves. All right. So let's throw all this stuff here. I really gotta find a better spot for the electrical stuff. I might just throw that in a bin because it doesn't have to be in here. Probably would do that. Even this, I'll throw that in there too. Got a bunch of receipts and shit. All right. Anyways, we'll we'll leave the cleaning up for later. This sandpaper has seen better days, so maybe we should get rid of that this time. Now, finally, we're not cleaning up shit, but finally, actually, we'll throw the receipts back in here. At the very bare minimums. It's a cat warranty. All right. Because I might as well, I ended up putting everything else back. All right. So now we move over to the masterpiece, if you will, which is this toolbox. So when I use these toolboxes a lot, I was doing mobile mechanic work. And so the reason why I chose this toolbox specifically was because I needed something that was big, but not too big, where it couldn't fit in the car properly. So I really had like 44 inches to fit this in the car. Or maybe even 46. And so I was debating between this and a Husky. And so I ended up going with this because of the top and the amount of draws that I had. And so that allowed me to provide myself with a little bit better organization. So on the top, you'll see on this side, right here on the right side, we have all our battery charging shit. Then fan, then like we talk about this shitty ass fucking Milwaukee fucking thing. I love you, Milwaukee, though. I really do love you. As you can see, I have a lot of your shit. I love you a lot. It's just this thing was very hype for me, and it was a disappointment. Man, fucking tragedy. And so let's move you along. Let's actually grab these, put them over here, so we're ready for whoever needs that assistance. Hopefully it's not me. All right. So on this desk we have paper, because that's important, with a pen, laptop, because it's very important to have some type of communication with the internets, because you always face issues that you don't account for. So you have all data and all that stuff right on there. And the way I was working when I was doing my mobile mechanic stuff, it's like links. Like the best way to do it is just have the links ready, and then boom, as soon as somebody asks you a question, yeah, I got it, blah, 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 you can type in the information and you're good to go, right? Because you got to do quotes pretty much on the fly. Within like 5 minutes is really long, but let's say within 5 minutes or less, put the quote together, send the quote out to the customer, even live on the phone call, right? And so we have as well a prior bar. Up here we have a multiple prior bar set. This is part of the overflow of the pack out. I haven't figured out what exactly I'm gonna do with this, but it could equate to better storage, of course. But first draw right here. First row right here is nothing but, I don't know if it's better. Hold on, let's get some more light. We got plenty of light, so we might as well use it. So this is just the socket draw. So you can see there's gaps right here. I was actually using some sockets from here in the house because I needed deeps, but I didn't have deeps in the house. But so universally, this rack is the main rack that I use. This 3/8. We got 1/2 inch stuff up here too. And like we have more 1/2 inch in that draw of like a bunch of different sockets that I showed you over there. We got more sockets over there, but this is universally what we use for the most part. And so this was 2 sets. So you had to get like this first set that's on this rail was 1 set, and this was the bigger set of sockets. And then I have, some flip pry bars. This actually was my first pry bar, but my first official real length pry bar, like that was my one. But this is a flip one. This shit never would work. Honestly, this shit is trash. Because when only a 3/8 would fit, the 3/8 side doesn't work. So that sucks. This is the retired OG favorite ratchet. But unfortunately, if you look at the head, you see that play? Shouldn't have that play. And so I had to, I don't know how many times tighten these up, but it needs a rebuild for sure. But it has an on and off just to make, again, your life easier. This was the first ratchet I had like that. I did have a even longer snap-on ratchet, but at the time we had to, this was years back though, I had to pawn that shit. And so that was one of my maybe regrets, is pawning that long. It was longer than that. It was like a 24 inch. I want to say this is like 18 inch. That one was a 24 inch. We have our what's this shit called? Torque wrench. We have a regular ratchet, right? Cute one, Craftsman. This is another Craftsman. This is a half inch, and then we keep our bigger, longer. This is part of that wobble set, but we also have just regular extensions as well. And then we should have. Oh, I don't think I think the 1/4 inch ratchet is probably in there. Okay, so I don't see it here. So usually, this is the original flip socket that I got many moons ago. That's a 19 and a 21. I have these bigger wrenches because it's like there was a time when I need a big wrench, and I was like, fuck it, let me buy all the big wrenches because these are Pittsburgh special. I'm not going to use these big ass shits often, but when I need it, I will use it. Then we have these lights. I haven't used these lights specifically in a long time because you see that flop. Yeah, it dropped and then it started flopping. That's basically how that light works now. But it has three different modes. You got the little actual flashlight mode. We got a crow's foot. We got again this and again this. Universally with them, I guess, everywhere. I keep my metric stuff in here because that's what I'm usually on, is metric. So we have the metric versions of the Ratchet and Craftsman wrenches and stuff. Not a complete set, but we have enough to get us into some trouble. And this is one of the original wrench sets that I've gotten. And so that's up to 22. This has seen a lot of life. We could put that there. And then we have, again, safety is everywhere. But when you do use safety, it fucking doesn't work. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the point of being safe about it if like fucking there's no point? Also, on the bottom right here, we have all our different, flatheads, Phillips, and stuff like that. This is for, I need to add another roll of paper towel. Then we have our gloves on this side right here. And that's it for the outside part of it. Let's continue with the draws. The draws. This is used to be my super plier draw, but it's gotten a lot less. This, it should be in the travel case, but it's like, look how big this shit is. It's like, it's very awkward. But this is for hoses. You squeeze that, and honestly, when I first saw this, like I was doing this with pliers and all that stuff. But when I first saw this, I was like, wow. My mentor showed me this shit. I was like, I need one of them. I need that. But yeah, again, pliers. This is to push hoses off easier, right? Then needle nose. These needle noses are specifically for Mac. I forgot what these are called. But these actually do some justice for sure. In a pinch. These are some big ass linemen. I used to work as an electrician back in the day. So this is our universal hammer, and it cuts thick ass wire. It doesn't look like it should do all that, but it does a lot. And then we have our plastic trim stuff. All this blue stuff is for plastic trim. We have a cute little needle nose right here. And then these are the snap ring pliers. And what sucks about this is, where is that fucker? There's one of these fuckers that I was using for on a car, and that bitch bent. Well, there goes the tape. I don't know if you could see that. You see how this one, oh, this one is literally turning? These shits are supposed to be hard as fuck because snap rings are usually hard as fuck. And they're not supposed to do that. Well, on the first try, the first day, that bitch did that. So nice. And it costs like $40 or something like that. This is actually where the electrical components live, such as this. And actually, I have something at the bottom here that should be up there, which is this. So this is the big boy scanner, if you will, that I have. It's a 919X, right? 919X. This thing's a badass right here. There's a lot of programming stuff that you could do, resetting of like all different types of lights and stuff. This I used to use way more often. These were like my go-to safety glasses because I don't know if they work right now. They do. Haven't charged this shit in a long ass time, but it has light to it. So not having a light in your hand is always the plan. So that's why we got these. I forgot how much these cost. We have some lens swaps as well for them. And then we have this that I've never used because I thought I would have to use it, but I've always asked the customer or whoever, I was working on their car, I just asked them, hey, can you go in there and start it? So I never really had to use this. But if I'm solo dolo, that will be the day that I open the shit. But I usually find a workaround specifically to avoid that. And if you want to see them, that good shit, now I mean on them sheets, we have that UV. Then this is my fancier level from back in my electrician days, but it's a magnet level. So that lives in here now. And then we get into the bottom goodies. So this is where we get into our power tools, power Milwaukee's, flashlight, because we always need another flashlight. We got our drills, our drill and impact, right? That's why Milwaukee, like I fuck with you. I fuck with you, Milwaukee. I really do. I really do fuck with all your products. So like if you're watching this, please don't take offense from the criticism that I have on one of your products. Because I'm only trying to make you guys better. Anyways. So deeper draw. This is a tool that I really haven't gotten to use. I got business cards in there. But this is another fucker. This is another pack to jumpstart your car. So this was the original one I got. And then I got the Nico one. I actually have a lot more than I expected that I would have. I kind of have a secret one in the back, but it's like very bulky. And that's why I'm thinking of getting rid of that one too, honestly. We do have the pad in case we want to. This is actually came from one of the Rain-X kits, the original Rain-X kits that I got, and so we just like keep it here. And then I'm gonna just show you what this looks like, and I'm not gonna take anything else out because this is the main thing. So this is a oscilloscope, but this is a cute one. It's a 2-channel oscilloscope. And so like the reason why I got this is because when I was going to get heavy into just doing heavy diagnostic specific work, I was like, yeah, I need to have one of these. And so this is like why I haven't upgraded the compressor kit. Because if I need actual like to test compression like that, then I use that. But with this, it's like I could check compression without having to use a kit like that just outside the car. So that's why I have this, and it has many accessories with it. But it's a dedicated device just for that. So we'll just slap that back in there. Really need to like get, I don't know, a travel case of some sort for that shit. always got to do that. Quick story behind this thing. So you see how this part is the part that moves up and down, right? Well, my lovely wife is the one who got this for me. And so when she got it for me, she was like, "Oh, this is nice." And then she put her finger in here and smashed her finger. And let's just say that was a lesson that she learned and she never did again. And so, yeah, that would hurt. It does hurt because that's fucking tough. Anyways, don't stick your fingers where they don't belong. Basically, is the rule of thumb. All right. Oh. All right. Now we're moving on. We literally have 2, 4, 3 final draws. Just 3, and then we're finally done because I ain't going through no more shit. So, right here, let's just go through this one. Right here, we have like the overflow of stuff, if you will. And what I mean by that is that the damn, I'll just do it like this. Probably if I can hook it on right here. Oh, bitch. All right, let's see if we can. There we go. Wink. That should be easier to hold on there. All right, so here we have. Let me just bring it closer. Closer. It's not always the greatest. All right, so in here we have just the miscellaneous tools because like this is for drum brakes. We have this is for drum brakes. This is for drum brakes. This is to stop the line from spilling out some more fluid. This is the most spectacularly useless fucking tool I had in my life. I only was able to use it once. And this is to check the brake pad. And it gives you, a nice measurement of where the brake pad is. But unfortunately, for a lot of the cars apparently in the world, this shit don't really work. So that's great. We have some flatheads, some screwdrivers, extra flathead screwdrivers and stuff. Pry bar, tiny enough to fit in here. This is punch, so it gives you a hole. Now you're able to go ahead and start your drilling properly. We have some brushes in here as well. As you can see, we got yet another one of these. We got the cute versions of things. If we need to charge something, we got a charge and brake, but we also have an outlet on the side of this toolbox. So we don't genuinely use that. We also have another pick. This was a pick that got me through everything. My mentor gave me this, and literally this is the only pick that I really need most of the times when I was doing, if not all the times, because I was using that mainly. Then right here, this is one of my favorite tools because in 2 seconds you could check and see if they need brake fluid or not. And so you turn it on and it has this this green light. And so if it's green, it's good. If it stays in the okay, it's good. But then when it goes to over here, it means that, you need to change your fluid. And so that's it for this draw specifically on that stuff. So it's like an overflow kind of thing. Right here, we got our miscellaneous type of kits and stuff that we usually need. And so we have clamps. Then we have, that's why I put that gasket maker over there, because I have the gasket maker over here. I have 2 of them shits. We have more zip ties. We have red Loctite over here. If I move this, we have some razor blades, some cotter pins. Honestly, why isn't this set up like that? I don't know. That's weird. And then the final draw is where we spoke about this, right? This is for coolant flushes. These are punch sets. And then we have Snap-on Man. He got me again. This is actually a really useful hammer because usually with a hammer, you hit it and it bounces back, right? Well, this one, you hit it and it kind of acts like a dead blow. So you just hit it and it just takes the impact. and fully transfers that into whatever the object is. And this is only a 32 ounce, by the way, hammer, and this does work. And then we have our brush set of just different wire brushes, right? And then we're again to the wire here. We have our drill set, and then we have another bad day item. This is my right angle attachment. So when I'm using this, that means there ain't no space. So that's sucky. But it's great. So like this tool was like maybe like $25, and this is what saved me from buying a $100 Milwaukee power tool, which I still kind of want. Honestly, it's a great excuse, but this is budget minded shit. And then we have the classic old Harbor Freight grinder. It's a 4.5 inch, and then we have another hammer, baby hammer, just because you always need multiple hammers when it comes to certain things. And that is officially every fucking tool that I have in this toolbox, or every tool that I have on me. I do have one more tool. It's literally a special tool that holds a special place in my heart, because that tool has literally been used once and never used again. But when it was used once, I thought it was going to be something that was mind blowing, that would change my life. And it's in the picture right now. So, it's this thing right here. I saw this earlier and I was like, man, I forgot about this thing. Boom. We have the Warrior. I had this shit for like 2-3 years, and then brand new. I finally unboxed it, right? I used it because I had some thick steel that I had to cut, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna use the baby Milwaukee. The baby Milwaukee now, it will do the job, but it's like I need a big boy to do the job. So I grabbed this one. Well, this thing fucking moves. When it oscillates, this thing moves, and it fucking broke. So now you can't even fucking use this shit properly, let alone where was it? I think it started like cracking or breaking or something somewhere. Actually, no. Oh, you see that? Yeah. The plastic on the inner side, that shit is bending. It broke right here. Right here. You see that crack? See how detached that is? So that was the first time I used this shit, and it basically went to pieces. And so what I had to do is, with the Milwaukee, shout out to you, because that little 12 volt is a badass motherfucker. The things that this tried to attempt to do and couldn't do and failed at doing, well, that little Milwaukee 12 volt was able to actually do that and do it flawlessly, mind you. And I'm not necessarily blaming the tools, because I mean it's a cheap tool, but considering what I was able to accomplish, is fucking actually great. And so now we gotta kind of clean up stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I have a vast amount of information in multiple realms. So like these past videos, I was talking to you about, I don't know, business stuff really, and other videos were mindset. This video was just about like my past life, basically, of being a mechanic. And so now I have over 10 plus thousand, maybe way more than that, because I haven't counted now, worth of tools. And that shit is amazing, honestly. And so I do have more tools in the house, but those are house tools, like I said. And so I appreciate you guys showing up to this video, watching along this whole time. This shit has been 2 hours long of just going through fucking tools. So you guys are amazing. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video. I promise you all videos are not going to be as long as this one. This one was more so a special video, if you will. So again, I show up at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to leave a comment, let me know what you got going on or whatever. Just shoot it down below, and I'll respond to you. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you guys on the next video tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace.